Hey everybody, it's SITREP 13 on the 5th of November 2019. So yeah, lots going on, so I'm gonna get right to it. Lately, my daily projects, my strength is still up pretty good. Taking my naps like usual, but one of the things I did was I was in the master bathroom. I'm sorry, the master bedroom. We have these patio blinds that go off the sliding glass door that goes onto the patio, and they were a little bit warped, a little bit damaged. We figured, we'll replace them. And I bought these like 4 panel ones that are pretty swanky. They're like they're real lightweight and they're material, and they just kind of slide together like that, all 4 of them. So they're about a foot and a half wide, and they all kind of slide into that one end of the door, just like the kind we have the accordion ones now, and they all slide down on one end. These do too, but there's only 4 panels. They look kind of cool. Well, I was expecting to come in the next day. Big surprise to my wife. I go on Amazon. There's a problem with your order. It won't be here until December. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So I'm like, cancel order. Went to Home Depot with her. We decided we'd paint the ones we have. So long story short, man. Well, we didn't paint the ones we have. We actually took all the slats off, bought brand new slats, had them cut to order, cut to length, brought them home and put a drip cloth out in the front yard on the grass, took screwdrivers and stuff and stuck them through all the edges and put weight on it, and then laid these things down and rattle can them. And I think it came up pretty decent, and for what they are, and I ended up saving like $100. So little sweat equity, and it was pretty cool. I got a bigger list today. I got a script. And then we have these nightstands and these other stands that they didn't really go together, but I sanded them down and painted them so they match the headboard that I made. Maybe I'll show you guys that one of these days. I showed you the litter box, or I put that out on my website. So maybe I should do the headboard that I built. But so I painted them all the same color. It's like the sage green. But to kind of save money, I got these wooden knobs. I need 13 of them. All of them have these little drawers. And long story short, those wooden knobs suck. Like, they were popping off, and if you screw them on too far, you split the wooden knob in half. So we went out and spent the $48-$50, whatever it was, and got metal knobs. And now it's like these brushed aluminum knobs, and they look really cool. And now you can pull on it, you put some weight in the drawers, and you can open and close them. So that's what I've been kind of doing to take up some of my time. The last thing, I kind of got an itch to buy a new car, a used car, and so I rode out to this one place, got a bunch of swanky. I'm like a Euro trash guy. I love the European cars that are sport cars, sport sedans. I've been looking at more coupes though, and this one, even though it's not a European car, it caught my eye. It kind of looked like Bumblebee. It was a Corvette though. It wasn't a Camaro, but it was way out in front of the lot, and that day was supposed to only get up to 80. And when I left the house, it was like low 70s. So I had a jacket on, I'm trying to protect myself. So I get there, I'm driving all around. I'm not trying to dismount. I'm a total tank guy. So I'm trying to stay in the car and drive around, kind of see the cars I want, drive up to them, open up the door, kind of look at it, jump back in. So at one point I figure, I could see this one Jaguar I want to check out, and it's way out in front of the building up by the road. And there was nowhere to park up near it. So I parked back by the building. So now I'm walking around. There's no salesman coming out to engage me, nothing. Like, I'm just strolling around this place. I'm driving around. Nobody's harassing me at all. So I see this Corvette, and I jump in. Here's the car. And so I jump in there, and I'm like, man, I'm digging it. So you see this button on the door. Now, this picture is the passenger door, but the driver's door is the same way. There's no, like, mechanical handle you put your fingers in and pull, and it undoes the latch of the door, right? You hit that little circular button, and what it does is it rolls down the window like a half an inch or something, and then ka-chunk, the door pops open. Like, there's nothing to grab onto it. You just push the button. It's all electronic, right? So I'm on driver's door. I push the button, and sure enough, the window comes down, and I didn't know any of this, by the way. The window comes down, and blink, the door pops open. I'm like, cool. I push it open. I'm checking it out. I'm like, that's pretty sweet. I close the door. So now I'm investigating inside the car. It's got T-top glass, so it doesn't have a moonroof. It actually has removable glass panels you take off, and then it's convertible kind of thing, right? It's sexy as hell. And those glass panels go in the garage. I'm really digging this car, right? It's got these deep dish wheels, and anyway. I'm looking around this thing, and this Corvette, if you notice the hump between the seats in most cars, that's where the transmission is in the car, right? So the lower you have the car to the ground, the higher that transmission hump is. So a car that's way, way on the ground, the shifting knob's like here. It's like up around your mid torso level because the transmission hump has to be up that high, right? To match up with the engine, which is up high above you too a little bit. But anyway, that's why this Corvette is. So I'm starting to get hot in this car, right? So I'm like, man, so I decided to take my jacket off. I set my jacket on the passenger seat, and I'm messing around with all the bells and whistles and stuff. And I'm like, man, it's getting hot. I'm going to go ahead and open up this door, and get some, air. So I hit the button, and the window comes down that little half-inch of stuff, but the door doesn't pop open. I'm like, what the heck? So, I push the button again. It does the same thing. The window comes down a little bit, but it doesn't open. I'm like, okay. So I reach over there and I try to roll the window down. Nothing happening. So I'm thinking, holy crap, I'll just start the car up. So I put my foot on the brake, hit the start button. Nope. No key fob. So now I'm starting to panic a little bit because now I'm starting to sweat. Right? And I'm thinking, holy crap. So I reach over to the passenger side. I'm like, no problem. I hit the button on the passenger's door. Window comes down a little bit. The window comes down a little bit. The doors are not open. I'm like, holy crap. So now I'm like, I got to get out of this thing. This is starting to get a little dangerous. I can feel the heat building in the car now, right? As the sun comes out, the wind's beating down on the inside of the car. The car is all black on the inside, right? So I'm trying to figure out how to open up the glass. I can't figure it out. I'm starting to think I'm kicking the window out of this damn car. And I'm like, you know what? Don't panic, dude. It's okay. You got your phone on you. So I go in there and I go to Google search, a voice activated Google search. And I say, hey, this company name on this road, Jetport Road in Orlando. And it pulls up the number. I'm like, cool. I hit the number. It dials it. And after about 4 or 5 rings, it picks up and then it hangs up. I'm like, okay, I'm in the mood for this right now, dude. Dial it again. Burp, 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 burp. Ringy, ringy, ringy. Picks up, hangs up. I'm like, all right, now I'm running out of options. Now I'm really getting hot. My shirt's soaking through. I mean, I'm freaking hot, right? I'm starting to get worried. So now I'm like, okay, what can I do? I dial 911. Right, so I'm not going to die in here. As long as my phone's got power and I got signal, I'm not going to die in this damn car, so don't freak out. So I'm looking around, and like I said, I'm way up by the road, so there's nobody really around. But there happened to be this couple that was probably about, I don't know, 100 feet away, 120 feet away, something like that. And they were walking parallel with the car, just luckily. So I laid on the horn. I'm like, "Bing!" And at first they kind of looked over. They looked away and started walking a couple more steps. Then they looked over again, and the guy waved at me, and I'm waving like, "Hey, come here, come here." I'm like waving, like, "Come here, come here." And he's waving, "Hey." I'm like, "No, come here." And he was kind of like, "Huh?" And him and the girl started talking to each other. And I'm like, "Dude, just get over here." And then finally they started walking over toward the car, and they're like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "I'm stuck in here." They're like, "No way." I said, "Yeah, open the freaking door." And pachunk, they opened the door. And his girlfriend walked around, and she was pulling on the driver's door, and finally it opened up. She's like, "Holy crap, that was hard to open." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'm pushing this stupid button in here, and it wouldn't open." And like, "Holy crap, it looks like you're sweating like real bad." And I'm like, I am. I'm like, "How long you been in there?" I'm like, "I don't know, about 10 minutes or so." And they're like, "Holy crap." I'm like, I went in the whole thing. I'm like, I called these guys, and it was the wrong number or something. Like, nobody answered. And I'm like, "Holy crap, dude." I'm like, "Yeah." So I got out. I freaking grabbed my jacket. I went up to the building. I walk in, and it had to be like 15 dudes. Now, this is a Sunday. It had to be like 15 people behind the counter. And I walked up to these 2 guys, and I'm like, "Hey," I told them what happened. I'm like, "Holy crap." And one of the dudes is like, "Yeah, those Chevys are known for that when the battery gets low. That's why they put an emergency thing down by the seat. There's an emergency thing." I said, I pointed to my foot. I said, "This was my emergency thing. You almost got a window kicked out of that damn car, man." And they're like, "Huh?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Look at me." They're like, "Holy crap, you're soaked." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm soaked." So, dude, that could only happen to me. Like, what the hell, man? Anyway, good Lord. So that's my my daily projects and adventures. Symptoms and diet. I'm having much more difficulty chewing on the right side now. Swallowing is tough anyway, but now I've learned to not even chew on the right side of my mouth because the food and stuff gets back behind my tongue, and oh man, is that most unpleasant. So I just now I'm just chewing on the left side, and that sucks. If you just try to chew everything you eat on the same side, right? It's terrible. So here is a little thing I noticed Sunday. I'm like, so I'll go ahead and roll this little video here. Now I suspected that this was going to happen, at some time, but it's been a while now. It's been almost a month since I think I had my major treatment, and all was good. But yep, now I'm freaking losing my hair. So I just went ahead and did it. I'm like, you know what? I fear not. I'm walking through the shadow of the valley of death, and I don't care what I look like. So whatever. I got some new pain pills. This CPAP strap is kicking my ass. I mean, you can go to the sleep clinic at the VA here on Mondays, and they'll send you to talk to an actual sleep therapist. I don't know what they call them, and they can do stuff like that, or they'll send you over to orthopedics. No, prosthetics. And they'll work together to try and make like a new harness. So I guess I have to wait now until Monday to see if I can get a harness that goes over my ear and kind of ties this thing and it stays away from this area, because this harness is just making me miserable at night. I mean, I don't get any more than 2 or 3 hours of sleep at a stretch, and it just sucks. So yeah, I'm getting new pain pills. My appetite is real good, and my taste buds are still real good. Thank God for that. That means everything. My weight is up. I'm just below 180. So the most I weighed was 184, and the least was 176. So I'm maintaining my weight, so which is good. So some corrections. So I don't know if you guys remember seeing this from when I did the reveal of the stuff that all my workmates got me. So I thought maybe this is one of those skull caps, right? Which talk about timing, right? But no, as it turns out, these are pairs of socks. And there's one person in particular that I work with who is very particular about his socks. And by the way, our Patriots just lost to the Baltimore Ravens, of all people. But we're still 8-1, so nah. It's all good. But anyway, thanks, Dave. I'm pretty sure that was you. If not, whoever sent them, thank you. But I think it was Dave. Yeah. And when I seen this thing at first, so one of my workmates is aware that I have my panda tattoo, and we go back and forth. We're always busting on each other. But anyway, so when I first seen this, I'm like, yeah, I didn't really put 2 and 2 together at first. And I was like, this thing has the droopiest eyes, but check this out. It has a little thing to squeeze the back of the head. Watch this. You gotta love it. So that's good panda, bad panda. Good panda, bad panda. Love it. All right, and so treatment plan. I forgot. All right, so here's a picture of. I think I told you guys about the mask that I think I showed you a picture of, right? Well, here is the picture of my mask. So what had happened was I am going to start radiation and chemo like I was supposed to on 18 October. I'm going to start it now on the 18th of November. So thank God, no more induction for me. No more mass chemo doses. I'm going into my normally scheduled treatment, which will be 5 radiation treatments a week, and every Monday I go to the chemo infusion lab and I get chemotherapy for like 6 hours. So 6 hours of chemo on Monday, then you go up there and I'll have radiation for a while, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday I just go for radiation. That doesn't take long. I think it's only like 20 minutes or something like that. But I have to be bolted to the table and wear this mask, which I'm here to tell you, it's not pleasant. I mean, being a tank crewman for all those years in confined spaces, I thought that was bad. That has nothing on wearing this damn mask, man. I mean, this thing is terrifying, but it has to be done. So anyway, here's a picture of my old one, and you can see these knobs around the ends. Those things you just push in, and they clamp the mask right down to the damn table. The table has those exact matching holes in it, the radiation table. Yeah. The mouthpiece. Then so I had to play the stadium card, Shabloimps, on my coach, Dr. Strip, and she finally relented. Yesterday she had me laid flat on the table with even the smallest wedge, which I have to have a wedge behind my neck. Everybody does when you do this chemo for head and neck, so it pushes your jaw forward a little bit. I can't breathe out of my nose when I lay down like that, so we had to do a mouthpiece. So this is the piece. I bought this off Amazon for $20. If I was going to a civilian doctor right now and I said, "Hey doc, I bought this $20 mouthpiece off Amazon, can we use it?" They would be like, "You're out of your mind, no." So you want to talk about a major difference in the treatment and respect that you receive in the VA versus a civilian hospital. I think this is a prime example that my doctor, Dr. Strip, actually relented and said, "You know what? I'll let you use that." Now, she brought in the physicist to make sure that, the material it was made of wouldn't interfere with the rad and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, at least she had enough respect, self-respect, to admit she was wrong and that I did need a mouthpiece I could breathe through and not one that was blocking my airway like the one she made. And she had the decency and the humility to let me use the one that I chose. So big kudos to Dr. Strip for that. Thank you. Thanks, Doc. I appreciate it. Although I know you're not watching this. I don't know why I'm thanking you. But anyway. Woo, it's hot in this car. See, now I have a mechanic. Look at this. See? I have a mechanical. Yeah. I can get out whenever I want. Chevy Corvette be damned. I ain't buying that car, although it was cheap and it was gorgeous. God, I want it. But I'm not buying it. No. Yeah. So back to the plan here. So she let me use the mouthpiece. She made me a whole new mask, which is a whole other thing. And so I get to take the old mask. So even walking out of there was weird. Like, people like, yeah, in the elevator, "Hey, do you mind if I ask you, like, what in God's name that is?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's this." And like, "Holy Lord, that is terrifying." I'm like, yeah, it is. Trust me. And they didn't touch my Adam's apple this time. And I warned them beforehand. I said, "Look, don't touch my neck." Here's what the last guys did. They just barely touched right there, or somebody did. And wherever you touch this molten stuff that's on your face, it just eventually dips in until it cools. And it just so happened they touched there, and it dipped in right on the point of my Adam's apple. Good God. You want to talk about torture, being bolted down to a table with that pushing in right on the tip of your Adam's apple, and then not being able to breathe fully out of your mouth or your nose at all? It was just, yeah, not good. Anyway, so yeah. That's the deal. That's it. So my treatment will run 5 days a week, except for Christmas. I get Christmas off. Woohoo! Yeah, right. But it will run until the first or second week of January. So it's going to be November, December to January. So it's going to be like 9 weeks of chemo and radiation. Yeah. So that's what it is, guys. So hey, that's all I got for right now. Everybody stay cool. Once again, thank you for being there. And I hope everything's going good at work, guys. And I hope everything's going good up in the Northeast where all the sucky weather's at, or wherever you're at. And I hope the biggest thing that I hope is that there's somebody out there that's watching these videos who's getting some decent information on what they can expect if they're starting radiation or chemotherapy. All right. That's ultimately my goal. And to keep all my friends, family, and acquaintances informed on what's going on in my life. Yeah. So anyway, that's all I got. Stay cool, guys. See you later.